Hello again, automotive enthusiasts. From the satisfying clunk of its heavy doors to the commanding view over its long hood, everything about the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado felt substantial and real. For those lucky enough to witness it glide down the street, it was more than just a car. It was a promise of freedom and luxury, a gleaming symbol of the American dream. Imagine the first time you laid eyes on that sleek silhouette, the hidden headlights peeking out like a well-kept secret, the deep, rich chrome gleaming under the sun. If you were around back then, you'll remember the way it made your heart race, the way it beckoned you to take a closer look and dream a little bigger. This was a time when America was alive with possibility, and the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado was one of the crown jewels of that era. It boasted a powerful 429 cubic inch V8 engine, delivering an impressive 340 horsepower that promised a smooth, effortless ride. Underneath its elegant exterior lay the heart of a true performer, ready to accelerate from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just about 9 seconds. But it wasn't just about numbers. It was about the feeling of power at your fingertips, the thrill of the open road stretching out ahead. Picture yourself behind the wheel, your favorite tunes from the radio filling the cabin as you cruise along the boulevard, the wind tousling your hair, and the world feeling like it's yours for the taking. The Eldorado wasn't just a car, it was a ticket to adventure, a vehicle of dreams that took you where the heart desired, whether that was to the local drive-in theater under a starry sky or a summer road trip with friends, laughter echoing against the backdrop of a fading sunset. But to truly understand the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, we must delve deeper into the America that created it. The cultural landscape of the 60s was vibrant and transformative, a time when the nation was redefining itself in the wake of change. It was a period of optimism, innovation, and a yearning for self-expression, all of which the Eldorado embodied in every contour and every rev of its engine. This car was not merely a means of transportation. It was a reflection of an era, a testament to the dreams and aspirations of a generation. And as we embark on this journey, let's take a moment to appreciate what this remarkable vehicle meant to the people who drove it and the America that embraced it. As we journey back to the heart of Detroit in the 1960s, we're stepping into a vibrant landscape bustling with ambition and innovation. The city was alive with the roar of engines and the hum of creativity, a testament to the American spirit of the time. It was here, in the Motor City, that dreams were not only imagined but forged into metal. General Motors, the titan of the automotive world, was home to a cadre of visionaries whose ideas would reshape the very definition of luxury and performance. Among them was Bill Mitchell, the head of GM's design department, a man whose artistic flair and relentless pursuit of perfection would leave an indelible mark on the industry. If you were to stroll through the halls of GM during this transformative era, you'd feel the electricity in the air, a competitive spirit that was palpable. Ford and Chrysler were not just rivals, they were family, fighting tooth and nail for supremacy in a booming market that demanded innovation and flair. The race to capture the hearts of drivers was fierce, and the stakes were high. Companies were not just peddling cars, they were selling dreams, lifestyles, and a sense of freedom that was uniquely American. In this bustling environment, Mitchell's vision was bold and forward-thinking. He believed that cars should not only serve as a means of transportation, but should embody a sense of pride and aspiration. The design ethos of the time was defined by sleek lines, powerful forms, and cutting-edge technology, a visual symphony that appealed to the eye and stirred the soul. Chuck Jordan, another key player in the design team, was instrumental in refining these ideas, working tirelessly to bring a level of sophistication and elegance to Cadillac that would set it apart from its competitors. As the 60s unfolded, the mood was one of optimism and possibility. American families were thriving, and with the rise of the middle class, car ownership became a symbol of success and independence. The drive-in theaters were packed, and the highways were filled with the sounds of rock and roll, encapsulating a cultural shift towards self-expression and adventure. In this vibrant backdrop, the engineers and designers at Cadillac were not just building cars, they were crafting pieces of art that would become woven into the fabric of American life. Every sketch, every prototype was infused with a sense of purpose and pride that reflected the aspirations of a generation. The visionaries at Cadillac understood that they were on the cusp of something monumental, and they were determined to create a vehicle that would not only capture the imagination of the public, but also stand the test of time. In a landscape where competition was fierce, the spirit of collaboration among the dreamers in Detroit was what ultimately fueled their success, propelling them to design a car that would symbolize luxury, freedom, and the American dream itself. As the sun rose on the 1960s, America was a nation caught in the throes of transformation. The air was electric with possibility, as young people, fresh from the post-war boom, began to redefine what it meant to be an American. Music was the heartbeat of this new era, with the soulful sounds of Motown, the rebellious chords of rock and roll, and the poetic lyrics of folk music echoing through neighborhoods and drive-ins alike. If you were around back then, you'll remember how the radio was a constant companion, with songs like Satisfaction by the Rolling Stones and A Whiter Shade of Pale by Procol Harum, igniting a sense of freedom and adventure. Against this backdrop of musical revolution, the United States was also engaged in a race toward the stars. The space race fueled a spirit of innovation and competition, inspiring young Americans to dream big and aspire for greatness. It was a time when anything seemed possible, and the automobile became a symbol of that aspiration. Young men and women wanted cars that reflected their boldness and freedom, a vehicle that could carry them to new experiences, whether it was cruising down the boulevard with friends or embarking on spontaneous road trips. In this context, the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado emerged as a response to a cultural demand. More than just a car, it was a declaration of status, a piece of the American dream that could be parked in front of a suburban home or showcased at a drive-in theater. With its striking design and innovative features, the Eldorado captured the imagination of a generation. Those hidden headlights, a first for Cadillac, evoked a sense of modernity and flair that spoke to the desires of a youth culture eager for change. It was a time when the automobile was more than just a means of transport, it was a lifestyle. The Eldorado's luxurious interior, spacious enough to accommodate friends and family, invited gatherings and conversations that stretched long into the summer nights. This was a car that said, "You've arrived." Those who owned an Eldorado felt a deep sense of pride, as if they were part of an exclusive club, a club that represented not just wealth, but a shared experience of adventure and optimism. As the nation grappled with social upheaval, civil rights movements, and a changing cultural landscape, the Cadillac Eldorado stood as a beacon of hope and luxury, embodying the dreams and aspirations of a generation ready to take the wheel and drive into the future. It was a car built for an America in transition, capturing the essence of a time when the road ahead was wide open and anything seemed possible. As we lift the hood of the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, we unveil the heart and soul of this majestic machine, a powerhouse that not only defined a driving experience, but also captured the very essence of American car culture. Nestled beneath that long, elegant hood was the legendary 429 cubic-inch V8 engine, a marvel of engineering that produced approximately 340 horsepower and an astonishing 480 pound-feet of torque. This wasn't just any engine, it was a statement, a bold declaration of power and performance that resonated with an era hungry for speed and freedom. Picture the scene. A warm summer evening, the sun dipping low on the horizon, and you slide behind the wheel of your Eldorado. As you turn the ignition, the roar of that V8 engine fills the air, a sound that vibrates through your chest and sends a thrill down your spine. It was the kind of rumble that made heads turn and hearts race, the unmistakable symphony of raw power that only a Cadillac could deliver. This was a time when cars were more than mere transportation. They were extensions of our identities, reflections of our aspirations and dreams. The Eldorado's engine was naturally aspirated, allowing it to breathe freely and deliver a smooth, powerful ride that felt effortless. The 3-speed turbo-hydromatic 425 automatic transmission complemented the V8, shifting seamlessly as you glided down the boulevard. Acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour in approximately 9 seconds was nothing short of exhilarating, a thrilling experience that made every drive feel like an adventure. But it wasn't just about speed. It was about the way the Eldorado handled the road, its front-wheel drive layout providing a unique driving dynamic that was both responsive and comfortable. In a time when muscle cars were making headlines for their raw speed, the Cadillac Eldorado carved its own niche as a personal luxury coupe, offering a blend of power and sophistication that was simply unmatched. It represented the pinnacle of American automotive engineering, a car that wasn't just built to perform, but to pamper its occupants with an experience that was as smooth as the ride itself. The independent front suspension with torsion bars and rear leaf spring suspension made every journey feel like gliding on air, as if you were floating above the asphalt rather than driving on it. For many, the 429 V8 was more than just an engine. It was a symbol of freedom, a reminder of the open road and the endless possibilities that lay ahead. In an era marked by dreams of adventure, this engine ignited a passion for cruising, whether it was a drive to the local drive-in theater or a weekend getaway to the coast. It embodied the spirit of the time, where the car was not just a vehicle, but a vessel of hope and excitement, a testament to American ingenuity and the pursuit of the good life. As we delve deeper into the legacy of the Cadillac Eldorado, we begin to see how this remarkable engine played a pivotal role in shaping not just the vehicle itself, but the very fabric of American car culture. It was a time when the roar of the engine and the wind in your hair were the soundtrack to our lives, and the Eldorado was at the forefront of that exhilarating experience. As we delve deeper into the heart of the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, we must pause to appreciate not just the power under the hood, but the artistry that enveloped it. This car was not merely engineered, it was sculpted by visionaries. Bill Mitchell, the head of General Motors' design department, and his talented team, including Chuck Jordan, brought the Eldorado to life with a flair that would become emblematic of an era. Its sleek, elongated silhouette was not just an aesthetic choice, it was a statement. When you laid eyes on that stunning profile with its hidden headlights and gracefully arched fenders, you couldn't help but feel a swell of pride. Imagine sliding into the plush leather interior of the Eldorado. The moment you settled into those wide, comfortable seats, it was as if the car embraced you, welcoming you to a world where luxury and performance danced in perfect harmony. The rich wood accents and chrome details sparkled under the soft glow of the interior lights, creating an atmosphere that felt both sophisticated and inviting. Grasping that thick, elegantly designed steering wheel was a tactile experience that connected you to the very essence of the car. It was like holding the reins of a powerful stallion, ready to gallop into the sunset. As you looked out over the long, sweeping hood, the world felt different. With the road stretching out ahead, you had a sense of dominion that only a Cadillac could evoke. The view was commanding, and the feeling was exhilarating. You could almost hear the whispers of the open road beckoning you to explore, to discover new horizons. The Eldorado wasn't just a car. It was a companion for the adventures of life, be it cruising down the boulevard on a warm summer night or embarking on a weekend getaway to the drive-in theater where laughter and the smell of popcorn filled the air. This was a vehicle that encouraged you to revel in the freedom of the open road, embodying a spirit of independence that resonated deeply with the American dream. The Eldorado was a symbol not only of automotive innovation but of a lifestyle, a luxurious escape into a world where every journey felt like an adventure waiting to unfold. In those moments behind the wheel, you weren't just driving. You were making memories that would last a lifetime, each turn and straightaway leaving an indelible mark on your heart. The Eldorado was about the feeling of pride and the experience of being part of something truly special. A masterpiece crafted for those who dared to dream big and drive even bigger. As the sun set over the American landscape in 1967, a new titan rolled onto the scene, ready to claim its throne as the king of the road. The Cadillac Eldorado, with its sleek lines and bold presence, made quite a splash, capturing the hearts of those who longed for a taste of luxury and adventure. It wasn't just another car. It was a declaration of status and style, a symbol of the American dream unfolding right before our eyes. If you were around then, you might recall the feeling of anticipation that filled the air as the Eldorado was unveiled, a vehicle that promised not only to impress but also to dominate the streets. The competition was fierce, with other Detroit giants like the Lincoln Continental Mark III and the Oldsmobile Toronado vying for attention. But the Eldorado stood apart, a beacon of innovation and luxury that seemed to whisper, "Come take a ride with me." As you eased into its plush leather seats, you felt a wave of comfort wash over you, a reminder that this was no ordinary journey. With a powerful 429 cubic inch V8 engine humming quietly beneath that long, elegant hood, drivers felt a rush of excitement every time they turned the key. It was like unleashing a lion, poised and ready to roar down the highway. At stoplights, the Eldorado commanded respect. The competition may have had their charms, but nothing quite compared to the sight of that Cadillac, with its distinctive hidden headlights glinting in the sun. The roar of the engine was music to the ears, a smooth growl that signaled power and prestige. When the light turned green, the Eldorado surged ahead, its 3-speed turbo-hydromatic transmission providing seamless shifts that felt almost magical. It could go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 9 seconds, though it was less about racing and more about the experience of cruising in style. As you rolled down the boulevard, the wind in your hair, you might have spotted the envy in the eyes of those who drove lesser machines. The Eldorado was not just another car. It was a lifestyle. It was the choice of those who wanted to be seen, to be admired, and to feel the thrill of the open road beneath their tires. While others might have tried to keep pace, the Cadillac Eldorado effortlessly glided ahead, a testament to the ingenuity of its creators and the dreams of those who embraced its spirit. In those moments, it became clear that the Eldorado was not merely competing. It was redefining what it meant to be a personal luxury car in America. The streets were its stage, and every drive was a performance where it reigned supreme, capturing hearts and imaginations in equal measure. The king of the road had arrived, and it was here to stay. As the Cadillac Eldorado glided onto the scene, it was more than just a car. It became a cultural touchstone, an emblem of aspiration and style that resonated deeply with the American spirit. If you were around back then, you'll remember the allure of its sleek lines and that distinctive front-wheel drive layout, which was a bold statement of innovation. It wasn't just about getting from point A to point B, it was about making a statement, turning heads, and capturing hearts. In the late 1960s, the Eldorado became synonymous with luxury and success, often seen parked in the driveways of the affluent and featured prominently in the lives of those who aspired to the American dream. It was the kind of car that made you feel proud to be an American, a vehicle that whispered tales of prosperity and adventure. While it didn't have a starring role in blockbuster films or hit television shows, its presence was felt in everyday life, woven into the fabric of American culture. Imagine cruising down the boulevard on a warm summer evening, the sun setting in the distance, and the smooth sounds of Motown pouring from the radio. It was during this golden age of music that the Eldorado found its way into the hearts of many. It was a car driven by the heroes of the day, those who represented the optimism and energy of a nation poised on the brink of change. While other vehicles vied for the spotlight, the Eldorado stood out like a beacon, embodying the spirit of freedom that defined the era. The Eldorado was also a favorite among the well-heeled crowd at the drive-in theaters, where couples would pull up in style, the soft purr of the engine echoing against the backdrop of flickering screens. It wasn't just transportation, it was a lifestyle. The Eldorado was a conversation starter, a source of pride among friends and family, and a dream for those who could only gaze longingly as it passed by. Cadillac's marketing efforts further cemented the Eldorado's status as an icon, portraying it not just as a car, but as a symbol of sophistication and modernity. It was featured in magazine spreads that showcased not only its striking design, but also the lifestyle that came with ownership, a lifestyle filled with glamour, success, and the promise of adventure. As the sun set on the decade, the Cadillac Eldorado became a lasting representation of an era defined by change and ambition, capturing the essence of the American dream. Even today, it remains a cherished memory for those who experienced its glory, a timeless piece of history that continues to evoke nostalgia and pride among car enthusiasts and collectors alike. Its legacy is not just found in its design or performance, but in the indelible mark it left on the hearts of those who drove it and those who admired it from afar. The Eldorado was more than a car. It was a beloved companion on the journey of life, a true American icon that will never fade from memory. Today, the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado stands not just as a car, but as a time capsule of an era when American ingenuity and flair were at their peak. For collectors, this magnificent coupe represents more than just a classic vehicle. It's a gateway to cherished memories of cruising down sunlit boulevards, the wind in your hair, and the unmistakable rumble of that powerful 429 cubic inch V8 engine reverberating through your very soul. As you slide behind the wheel, you can almost hear the echoes of laughter from drive-in theaters, the smooth tunes of Motown drifting through the air, and the unmistakable excitement of youth and freedom that filled the summer nights. In the world of classic cars, the Eldorado has become a coveted treasure, with pristine models fetching impressive prices at auctions, a testament to its enduring allure. But it's not merely its monetary value that matters. It's what this car symbolizes. The Eldorado captures the essence of a bygone era when luxury was not just about the amenities, but also about the feeling of pride it instilled in its owner. It was a statement, a declaration of success and sophistication in a time when the open road represented limitless possibilities. As we reflect on the legacy of the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, we recognize its significance as a marker of American culture and the dreams that drove a generation. It reminds us of a time when cars were not just modes of transportation, but vessels of adventure, memories, and a sense of belonging. For those who remember, it evokes a bittersweet nostalgia, a longing for the simplicity and exuberance of youth when life was about the journey and the stories we created along the way. In a world that is ever-changing, the Eldorado remains a steadfast symbol of aspiration, craftsmanship, and the indomitable spirit of American innovation. It reminds us that while times may change, the dreams we chase and the memories we forge in our beloved cars endure forever. So, as we close this chapter on the story of the 1967 Cadillac Eldorado, let us carry forward its legacy, a beacon of what it means to dream big, drive boldly, and cherish every moment on the road of life. If this story brought back some good memories, please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It truly helps us keep these legends alive. But more importantly, I want to hear from you. Please leave a comment and tell us your story. Did you or your family own one of these? What was your first car? I read every single comment, and your memories are what make this community so special. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you for the next one.